In a move that sent shockwaves through New York's political world and caught even seasoned insiders off guard, Jessica Tisch will remain as NYPD Commissioner under the incoming administration of Mayor Zohran Mamdani, a Democratic socialist whose campaign promised sweeping reforms. After weeks of speculation, tense negotiations, and a series of private meetings behind closed doors, both leaders finally emerged with a public commitment to work together for the good of the city. Tisch admitted in an internal email to her staff that she and Mamdani don't agree on everything. Far from it. But she emphasized that they share a fundamental goal: ensuring public safety and stability for all New Yorkers, no matter their background or neighborhood. Their partnership is less about shared ideology and more about providing steady, experienced leadership during a time of political transition and uncertainty. Mamdani has publicly praised Tisch's effectiveness, especially her high-profile crackdown on corruption and crime, which has earned her respect from both city officials and many residents. By keeping Tisch in her role, Mamdani sends a clear message to moderate voters and skeptics alike. He values stability and continuity over radical change, at least for now, and is willing to work across ideological lines. For Tisch, this means navigating a new political landscape and working with a mayor whose base is often at odds with law enforcement, requiring her to build new bridges and foster trust. For Mamdani, it's about placing trust in a commissioner known for a more traditional approach to policing, while still pushing for accountability and reform from within the system. Their alliance is an experiment, an open question of whether two leaders with such different worldviews and constituencies can truly cooperate for the city's good, or if their differences will prove too great. The coming months will test whether this partnership can withstand the immense pressures of governing New York, from rising crime rates to calls for police reform and public accountability. All eyes are on City Hall, as New Yorkers and the nation watch to see how this unlikely alliance will shape the city's future, and whether it can deliver on its promise of both safety and change. News of Tisch's continued leadership brought a collective sigh of relief to many New Yorkers, who had been anxiously following the city's political developments. In a city where change can spark uncertainty, the announcement quickly spread through neighborhoods, offices, and social media feeds, becoming the talk of the town. Residents and business owners alike see her as a steady hand after years of fluctuating crime rates and heated debates over policing. Many remember the uncertainty that came with previous leadership changes, and now feel reassured by the sense of continuity. Her presence reassures those anxious about Mamdani's past support for defunding the police, and offers comfort to those who worry about the city's safety and stability. Keeping Tisch is widely viewed as a check on radical reforms, and a guarantee that the NYPD's core functions, like rapid emergency response and community policing, will remain intact, no matter the political winds. The business community, in particular, values her data-driven approach and focus on measurable results. Many believe her leadership is essential for keeping the city attractive to investors and entrepreneurs. Her decision to stay helps maintain confidence in New York as a safe place to live, work, and invest, reassuring families and real estate professionals alike. Within the NYPD, the announcement was welcomed as a much-needed sign of stability and support from the top. Officers, who have been facing morale and attrition challenges in recent years, trust Tisch to advocate for them and to understand the realities of their daily work. Her leadership reassures the rank and file that their concerns and voices will be heard, even under a skeptical administration that may not always see eye to eye with the department. For now, Tisch's presence calms fears of sudden upheaval, allowing New Yorkers to focus on their daily lives with a renewed sense of security and hope for the future. Jessica Tisch's rise to NYPD Commissioner is rooted in nearly 2 decades of dedicated public service, marked by a relentless drive to improve the lives of New Yorkers. Despite her prominent family background, Tisch built her career from the ground up, earning respect through hard work and determination. She began her journey in the NYPD's Counterterrorism Bureau in 2008, where she quickly became known for her sharp analytical skills and her ability to handle high-pressure situations. Tisch later took on the challenge of modernizing city technology as Commissioner of the Department of Information Technology and Telecommunications, leading major upgrades that helped bring New York's digital infrastructure into the 21st century. She also tackled one of the city's most persistent problems as Sanitation Commissioner, implementing citywide containerization to address New York's trash crisis and improve the quality of life for millions of residents. Her reputation is that of a no-nonsense leader who delivers real results, especially on tough quality-of-life issues that matter most to everyday New Yorkers. Tisch isn't a traditional career cop, nor is she an outsider. She's a lifelong civil servant with a proven record of competence and innovation across multiple city agencies, always focused on making government work better for the people. Her broad experience in counterterrorism, technology, and logistics gives her a unique skill set for leading a modern police force, allowing her to approach challenges from multiple perspectives and find creative solutions. She's widely recognized as a tough, data-driven manager who is deeply committed to using evidence and analytics to drive progress and improve New York City for everyone. This diverse and dynamic background truly sets her apart from past commissioners, positioning her to lead the NYPD into a new era of innovation and service. Appointed in 2024, Tisch inherited a department facing rising crime and low public confidence. She implemented precision policing, using data to target crime hotspots and focus on repeat offenders. Under her leadership, homicides dropped to their lowest since 2020, a major victory for her supporters. However, felony assaults spiked, showing the complexity of post-pandemic crime. Tisch's strategies are designed for long-term impact, focusing on illegal guns and high-risk individuals. She also worked to restore integrity and morale within the NYPD, defending officers while demanding accountability. Tisch insisted on retaining disciplinary authority, a key point in her negotiations with Mamdani. Her approach results-driven, tough on misconduct, and committed to public trust. The numbers show progress, but challenges remain. Mayor-elect Mamdani brings a fundamentally different vision for public safety. He champions a holistic approach, investing in community resources, mental health, and housing to prevent crime. Once a vocal supporter of defunding the police, Mamdani now advocates for shifting some NYPD responsibilities to a new Department of Community Safety. This civilian-led agency would handle nonviolent 911 calls, sending social workers and medics instead of armed officers. The goal? Free up police for violent crime, while reducing NYPD's footprint. Mamdani also wants to reform or dismantle controversial NYPD units and databases he sees as discriminatory. His agenda puts him on a collision course with Tisch, who views these tools as essential. Their visions for public safety are rooted in conflicting theories of what keeps a city safe. The stage is set for a major policy clash. The Tisch-Mamdani partnership faces major tests over policing policy. Their biggest disagreements: police staffing, specialized units, and the new civilian agency. Tisch argues the NYPD needs to replace departing officers to maintain safety. Mamdani opposes increasing headcount. Fewer officers could mean slower response times and tough choices about which services to cut. Mamdani's Department of Community Safety adds complexity, requiring close coordination outside Tisch's command. Jurisdictional disputes and diluted authority are real risks. The success of this new model depends on seamless collaboration. No easy feat. These aren't minor disputes. They'll define the future of public safety in New York. Whether this alliance can survive remains to be seen. Two flashpoints define the Tisch-Mamdani divide: the Strategic Response Group, SRG, and the NYPD's gang database. Tisch sees both as vital for precision policing and targeting violence. Mamdani views them as symbols of aggressive, discriminatory policing that erodes community trust. The SRG, a heavily armed unit for protests and emergencies, is praised by Tisch but condemned by Mamdani, who pledges to eliminate it. Losing the SRG would force Tisch to overhaul NYPD's emergency response. The gang database, used to track violent offenders, is another battleground. Tisch relies on it for intelligence. Mamdani and civil liberties advocates call it racially biased and want it abolished. Abolishing these tools would fundamentally change NYPD operations. Tisch and Mamdani's opposing philosophies make compromise difficult. The fate of these units will shape the city's approach to crime and protest. The NYPD faces a staffing crisis, with hundreds of officers leaving each month. Tisch wants to boost recruitment, but Mamdani's budget priorities focus on social services, not police headcount. If departures outpace hiring, the force will shrink, forcing tough decisions about which services to cut. Fewer officers could mean less patrol presence, slower response times, and overwhelmed investigative units. Community policing would suffer as remaining officers are stretched thin. Tisch is being asked to maintain safety with fewer resources, a nearly impossible task. The staffing standoff could become the central battle of their tenure. If crime rises, blame will fly between the commissioner's strategy and the mayor's budget. The city's safety and the partnership hang in the balance. This conflict may define their time in office. The Tisch-Mamdani partnership is an alliance of necessity, not conviction. Their ability to compromise will determine the NYPD's stability and the city's safety. If crime stays low, both gain political space. If it rises, their differences will be exposed. Aggressive reforms, like dismantling the SRG or gang database, could force a direct confrontation. Tisch may resign if she feels her authority is undermined, triggering instability within the NYPD. Mamdani could then appoint a commissioner aligned with his vision, but lose bipartisan credibility. The city would face a police department in flux and a divided public. Success depends on whether a pragmatist and an idealist can find common ground. The answer will shape New York's future. The city watches, waiting to see if this experiment in governance can last.